Bank robberies have the potential to make criminals millions of dollars, but due to the risk, most don't dare try. So what does it look like when bank robbers get caught red-handed?
Hey, that's him. That's the one I saw running.
Today we cover exclusive body cam footage of exactly that. On the 15th of November, a 16-year-old boy entered a bank in Lyndhurst, Ohio, claiming he had a bomb. The terrified bank staff handed over a large amount of cash to the teen before he ran back out of the bank and got into the passenger side of a stolen Jeep. Minutes later, an officer who was allegedly completely unaware of the robbery saw the Jeep run a red light a couple miles from the bank and gave pursuit. The cop called off the chase just 20 seconds in due to the Jeep's reckless driving, but this seemingly changed nothing, as the Jeep plowed right into another car on South Green Road. The driver fled on foot, but the 16-year-old was unable to leave the vehicle and was immediately taken to a hospital to be treated for his injuries. Now all that was left to find was the driver, who was presumed to be the ringleader, and they wouldn't have to look far.
Right here, right here, right here.
Hands! He's in here! Right there! Hands! Let me see him!
Get your hands up.
Hands out! Pull me your hands! Pull me your hands! Right now! Alright, you're gonna get bit! Don't let him bite! You're gonna get bit! Sit down on the ground! 43 on the body custody. You have that mail.
Hey, that's him. That's the one I saw running. That's the one I saw running. Hi, who's one of theirs? I'm the reason you got caught. Get up. Get up. Shut your mouth. You're the right to remain silent.
With the help of a police canine unit, the man was found hiding in a dumpster close to the crash site, and the cops were easily able to identify him as the man who fled the vehicle.
Just stop talking for a second. Just don't say anything. I will. But you're the guy I saw running.
You saw me?
Yeah, I saw you running too. And you're on my car camera.
Look, I got a question.
And you're on my car camera.
No, I why for y'all?
You're right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be.
Did you wreck your car? We already know.
I didn't know. Can I tell you what happened? What just happened to me?
You try it.
Despite almost definitely being the guy they're looking for, the cop still tells the suspect to stay quiet so as not to incriminate himself any further. He reads him his Miranda rights and tells him he'll have a chance to talk later, most likely with an attorney present. But this next genius robber probably won't even have that chance after being caught red-handed and sent straight to the can. That guy made it extremely easy for the cops, but the next robbers had absolutely no intention of helping them out whatsoever, initiating a massive police chase after stealing thousands of dollars from a nearby bank. A man noticed two people running into a bank in masks and hoodies, and immediately dialed 911 to report the activity. Unfortunately for the robbers, though, the man was an off-duty officer, and he was willing to get directly involved and help bring them down.
911, where is your emergency?
I think those guys are hitting the Dollar Bank right now. Yep.
Okay, you think there's a bank robbery occurring at 7500 Chippewa? Okay, bank robbery, 7500 Chippewa. Okay, got it.
Camry.
Okay, black Toyota Camry. Okay.
We're pulling on the Chippewa, going towards Breckville Road.
Pulling onto Chippewa, going onto Brocksville Road.
Taking
Okay.
the left. Going around traffic. He's going around traffic. He's gonna make he's going straight.
He's going around traffic. He's going straight to the highway. Just straight.
Camry, no plates.
No plates.
The off-duty officer gives a detailed description of the suspects and vehicle, and gives the dispatcher enough information for 2 patrol units to station themselves where they think the Camry is heading. And luckily enough, less than 2 minutes later, they spotted it.
Okay, they're all coming. Still approaching Walling. Okay, approaching Walling. Is he speeding up?
No plates. Westbound. 480 westbound. Over pursuit. Going eastbound. Traffic heavy. We're going to be approaching the bridge. Speed 90. Traffic heavy. 58, you copy this? We're going to be approaching the bridge here in a second.
As soon as the patrol vehicles make visual contact, the dispatcher moves out of the way and lets the pursuing cops take over the communication. Their job is to give live updates on the vehicle's location and any possible safety hazards to them or the public. When traffic is heavy like this, the cops have to be extra careful and decide whether or not to even keep chasing in the first place. But these cops aren't giving up anytime soon.
80, traffic heavy on the bridge, trying to make it through cars here. He's in the speed lane. We're in the middle of the bridge, crossing over into Valley View. I don't know if he's ever getting off at transportation or not. Getting off at transportation, speed 90, slowing.
A random civilian vehicle almost causes the robbers to spin out and crash, but they manage to regain control and head off the freeway. Their speed may have slowed, but now they're in a more residential area, which is just as dangerous, especially as they start to make risky and unsafe maneuvers.
North on transportation, speed 40. Right on him. Let me know if you want me to do anything else. We're getting back on the highway going westbound. Copy, I'm on him. Speed 38, getting back westbound.
Back on the highway, the Camry is hitting over 100 miles an hour while weaving through heavy traffic, and it stays like this for another 4 minutes. The cops have set up a roadblock ahead in hopes that they can stop the robbers in their tracks, but somehow they left an off-ramp free for them to slip away on.
They're getting off at the fleet exit. Speed 50.
This once again forces the Camry into a residential area where it's free to make increasingly dangerous moves.
We're going to be coming up to East 55th and Broadway. They just struck a vehicle. They're still going. They struck a Dodge truck, Broadway and East 49th. We're going to be going north on Broadway. Coming up to Finn. Still north on Broadway. I'm right on them. We're getting out 490 west. Speed 60.
The robbers head back onto the highway for the last time before once again taking an off-ramp into a residential area. But it seems all this high-octane driving has gotten the better of them, and they end up making their worst decision yet.
Exiting Lorraine. Exiting onto Lorraine. They just hit a vehicle to balance. One male down. One male down. They hit my car. Southern Garfield, yeah, he's got to pursue on his own. My vehicle is dysfunctional at this point. They struck a vehicle, West 85th and Lorraine. I'm out on foot.
Here it comes, here it comes. We got one in custody. 89th and Lorraine. You guys good? Good job. Fuck yeah.
In case you missed it, one of the robbers actually exited the vehicle thinking it was time to bail, but he suddenly had second thoughts and got back in, losing them distance from the cops. Then as they sped out across an intersection, a civilian vehicle rammed directly into the side of them, spinning both cars out and leaving the robbers to be easily detained. This next arrest was just as easy too, but it was what happened after that left the cops in shock.
1 second. Somebody take my glasses off my face. Take the glasses. I got you. You need some air? I mean, I gotta be honest with you.
This man wearing a mask and sunglasses was spotted suspiciously passing a note to a bank teller in broad daylight. Somebody obviously thought this was sketchy and decided to call the cops, fearing he was trying to rob the bank. Now it's up to the man to explain his way out of this.
It's a medical assistant that works in my house that prefers me paying cash.
every time I make a withdrawal to pay her, you know, because it's a large amount, she writes a lot.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't write down on a note how much I want out, and then I don't want it ran through the money counter right there at the desk, the whole bank ends up looking at it. Because they just hear money going through the account. And I don't feel safe. Getting money out like that. So every time I go to withdraw it, you know, I put that amount, the account I want to take it out of, and I put my own card in, and then they usually take me out like, oh, it's just get the money from me. You know what I'm saying?
Due to the nature of this call, the cops decide to handcuff everybody that was with this man, including who he's claiming is his 5-month-old's nurse. Innocent or not, this guy is being extremely polite with the officers, and because of this, he's being treated the same way back. And they decide to take the handcuffs off him and everybody else. Now it's time for them to try and get to the bottom of this whole situation.
Because of the seriousness of the call, we don't just come out, and unfortunately in a situation like that, you don't get the benefit of the doubt. We detain and then we ask questions later. That's exactly what I went inside for. You can take them out, the other people that are handcuffed. So that's why we come out with weapons, that's why you're detained, and then we ask questions later because of the nature of the call.
I gotta get all y'all names.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. If you got something to write on, do you have anything?
I'm not reaching into that and grabbing that. So y'all can give me something to write down on. Y'all can put it down.
All right,
we can get you something.
We'll get you something that give you everybody's names. Hey, y'all do me a favor and give it, write down all our names and put it on a paper form. You don't have nothing to write on. Just put all of us on.
To everyone's credit, they've all done an incredibly good job at preventing this from escalating. Each party is conscious of the other's perspective and is trying their best not to make them feel uncomfortable, but the cops still aren't exactly sure what it was that the man was trying to do.
Have you ever considered speaking to them before you make a transaction like that? Have you ever had something like this happen?
Have I ever been arrested?
No.
Wait. Listen to what he said.
Have you ever...
No, I am listening.
Okay. Have you ever considered speaking to them about what it is you're trying to do prior to doing...
So can I explain something to you?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to down here, bro. Like, I'm not saying out loud how much money I'm taking.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about speaking to somebody like that. I'm saying, hey, can I speak to a manager in an office somewhere? Have you ever considered doing something like that?
I got it up to this point. Every Bank of America I ever gone to. Never happened.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
The situation is obviously very frustrating for the man. He's been approached by armed officers and detained while just trying to do his daily business. Realistically, nobody here is at fault. It's just a huge misunderstanding. One that likely wouldn't have been made if the cops knew who the man was. They later found out it's Ryan Coogler, the director of the billion-dollar movie Black Panther. Someone who is definitely going to be withdrawing fairly large amounts from the bank. Apparently, this is something he frequently does. He walks into the bank, hands over a note explaining the amount he needs withdrawing and that he doesn't want to say it out loud for safety reasons, and gives them his bank card. But this time, someone thought that was suspicious and decided to call the cops, claiming they were witnessing a bank robbery. If Ryan hadn't been so calm and polite throughout this interaction, it's likely things could have gotten out of hand very quickly, just as they did in this robbery case. This case was a little harder to explain away than Ryan's, though, as it started with two men storming the bank with handguns and ordering everybody on the floor. The men then took a large amount of cash and fled to a gas station where they jumped in a brown van and sped away. The officers saw the van heading west on the freeway and stopped the vehicle, but they clearly didn't have plans to stick around for long.
What's your firearm policy? You can take it off. I'll give you, we're still only doing 43 miles an hour.
The thing about vans, though, is that they're not well known for their prowess in high-speed chases, and in less than 30 seconds, one of the pursuing vehicles manages to get in front to box it in. With one vehicle in front and one behind, they call in two other nearby units to help bring the van to a stop by fully boxing it in and slowly reducing their speed. But the van somehow manages to break free and continues to head down the freeway tailed by 4 police cars. But the plan hasn't changed, and the cops attempt to set up the maneuver for a second time. But unfortunately for the cops, vans are much heavier than the average patrol vehicle and are able to ram into the side of the cop cars and sustain minimal damage. But now their vehicles are damaged and the van has proved itself to be too much of a danger for a busy public road. There's only one thing left to do. The suspect vaults over to the other side of the interstate, but is taken down by a taser shortly after making it across the road. Miraculously, nobody was hurt during the chase, and the suspects were both taken into custody.